Hello, this is a long-awaited video for some of you guys. It's finally an update for my rusty floor repair. I started this project about a year ago, and I kind of stalled out, and I don't want to say I've given up, but I've given up. Welding is very hard. I've never welded before. I had this whole idea where I watched a YouTube video and was like, hey, that looks easy, I could do that. And then I went out and bought a little welder and all the little accessories and whatnot. And I was like, oh yeah, I could just buy that stuff, I'll weld it up myself and it'll be easy peasy. No. Well, I guess it is, but no, I'm not happy with it. Let's take a look at my horrendous welds over here. Right here, I started out okay, and then over here, I got tired because it's a lot of like wrist movement. I don't know. Like I said, I don't do this. This is my first few times welding, and I'm kind of learning. And I got tired, so I tried to grind this down. Then I realized it doesn't matter. I don't need to grind it down. It's 1/4-inch steel. It looks like crap, but it'll hold. Sheet metal is completely different. Sheet metal is very thin, so you don't want to be too hot because you'll start blowing through the metal, basically where it just crumbles away wherever you're trying to weld, and then making your hole bigger. And the other problem is if it gets too hot, if you don't manage your heat properly, it starts to warp the thin metal, and then it's just very annoying. So let's come over here and take a look at what I did in the car. I did start and do about 3 spots. And then when I got to a harder, like more difficult spot, I kind of just like lost motivation and gave up. Let's take a look here. This spot, I cut out a rectangular square and I welded it back up. Then I grinded down the welds. This actually came out okay. For the most part, if I finish grinding these little spots, high spots down, you might not even notice this. There's a little bit of warpage from heat. You could probably like hammer that out and make it flat again. This is probably my best work. It's a little bit shoddier if you look on the other side, on the other side, because I didn't weld the other side, I only did one side. Welding upside down was even more difficult. And over here, I cut out a little square. Came out okay. And over there, I cut out a little tiny like rectangle thing, and it seems to be all right too. Now, the floor here is not structural, so it doesn't necessarily have like forces to hold. It's more of like a cosmetic thing. I looked at it underneath and I looked at it from this way and was like, I'm not too happy with this. And then I got to this part where I had to cut out the circles and kind of do this, fix this part. This is the part where I kind of lost motivation. It was like, oh, then I have to figure out like whether or not I wanted to keep these circles or just put a flat sheet through. Then I also thought about, oh, I can try to replicate the round part and put the circles back in, the circle plugs. And at that point, I couldn't really decide, so I started working on other things, and I gave up on this. Now that I'm coming back and looking at it again, I'm not too happy with the results I have here. I don't like how I patched it like this. I think if I had the like better skill to like do the entire piece, I would do it, and like including this part too. I don't really have the skill, nor do I really have the time to kind of do this. It's not hard, but it's not easy either. It's very time consuming to cut out stuff and then like prep it and weld it, especially with sheet metal. Remember how like you have to go slow? So you have to go like that, and that takes a long time. This is why body shops charge so much, I guess, because you're in here just spending your time like probably like an hour or 2 just to do like a little section. That's just the price for making it look nice. What I'm gonna do here is I've decided I'm just gonna pay somebody to do this, and then at least I can be happy with that it came out okay, because this will bother me over some time where it's like, hey, every time I go under my car for something, I'll see my crappy little square patches underneath that don't really match. Yes, I can seam seal it, and yes, I can coat it over so it'll all look the same, but I'm not happy with it. I'll just suck it up, pay a restoration place to fix that, and and just move on. But anyways, I have footage on me doing that, and if you still want to take it on yourself because you have the equipment or you have the drive to do so, please continue watching, and you'll see what I recorded about a year ago when I was doing this stuff. All right, enjoy. I put a welding blanket over my seat, and it'll help cover the other stuff from getting damaged potentially from the sparks from welding. I should probably put something here too, but should be okay. It's high up and we're sparking downwards. I just tack welded it. Yeah, it looks like crap, but hey, it holds. I had to grind it a little bit more because this steel I got had some coating on it, and as you saw when I was welding, it was smoking up and it was kind of disgusting. Hopefully me just sanding the edge will do enough. Maybe I won't be lazy and grind the whole thing. You know what, I'll just grind the whole thing. Well, welding in the car with the whole bending over the door sill and all this other stuff, and being limited with how my my little hose is kind of bent and kind of pushing in the way, changes welding a lot. It was actually a lot harder to do, but as you can see, it looks terrible, but hopefully after some grinding, this will look pretty nice. And I'm gonna check if there's gonna be any pinholes or whatnot. I actually see one right here I'm gonna fix. And then let's grind this down. Let's take a look. Thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw today, please give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. If you aren't subscribed already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I update on my little projects here, either on my Suzuki Kara or my Suzuki Carry outside, on all the little things that I'm working on here. But before I go, please head over to my website, anythingwheeled.com. Go to the goodies page. I will be updating that page with new stuff here and there as I work on things that are available for sale. For now, you can see what little wares I have to peddle here. Any purchases are greatly appreciated as you're supporting my channel on making these builds happen.